Hey there, welcome to Elevate Beauty Company. My name is Summer and today we are going to be testing out the Revlon and Hot Tools 1/2-inch curling irons. Today we're putting two of my favorite brands head to head. I've got the Revlon 1/2-inch curling iron here, and then the Hot Tools. You guys loved when I did the Revlon blow dry brush one-step styler versus the Hot Tools. So I thought I would grab both of these and give you guys my honest review. First off, the Revlon is a smaller price point. It's about $15, really inexpensive, whereas the Hot Tools between $30 and $40. You can tell that the Hot Tools is just kind of like a better quality. It's a little bit more sturdy. This feels more inexpensive. It's really plastic, whereas this feels more like a sturdy plastic. So I would say first off, this one feels like it's going to last better, have a little bit better quality, but we will see. Another thing that is different with both of these is that heat setting is specified on the Hot Tools. You can see where you're setting it, whereas the Revlon's a little arbitrary. Like, I'm not quite sure what 25 and 30 align with as far as the heat setting goes. So I kind of like to know what kind of heat I'm putting on my hair. So I would go with the Hot Tools on the heat setting. The power button on and off. This one just toggles on and off. And this one you have to hold to turn on and off. So pretty simple and basic. There's not like a huge difference as far as functionality goes. They both have a full clip on the rod. So you can either use it as a wand like I'm going to do today, or you can clamp it if you wanted. Another thing where they are kind of similar is this swivel cord. The Hot Tools does have a longer cord. It's about, I would say, 8 feet, and the Revlon is about 6. The wand is a little bit longer on the Hot Tools, but not by much. The one good thing about having a longer wand is that you can wrap more hair around it, like a longer piece of hair. Whereas the Revlon, it's a little bit shorter. It might take me a little bit longer to curl because it doesn't have that shorter shaft. All right, so let's get into styling and testing these out. I want to show you the styling tools that I'm going to be using today. It's important when you're using heat on your hair that you protect it. The other thing that you might want to do is use something that will help hold and add shine. So first thing I'm going to be using is the Lange Rival Heat Shield. You can use this on dry hair. You just spray it before you use your flat iron. Make sure that it gets all the way dry before you put the heat on your hair. You don't want to sizzle and fry it off. So there's that. The other thing that I like to do is spray some of the SeneGence HairCovery hairspray. This is a pump hairspray, and I like this because it gives me really flexible hold. So I'll spray it on my hair first, I'll brush it out, and then I'll curl it. And I notice that my curls hold better and I don't get like the crunchy, shiny, permed look. I'm gonna finish up with the Lange Satin Nectar Polishing Gloss. This just helps everything look really shiny and healthy, especially on your ends where you might have a little bit more damage and dryness. Okay, so strategy-wise, I'm not gonna part my hair in the middle because these are smaller curls. It's going to look a little funny. So I am gonna keep my natural part on the side. However, I will keep this like center part up so we can really see them side by side, how the curling iron is performing, how well it's holding, and what those curls kind of look like. Now you will notice I've got some texture in my roots. I actually used the Rootie by Voloom. This is kind of like a flat iron, but has this checkerboard plate that adds volume to your roots. If you want to see more on this, I do have a video. I'll link it for you guys, but it did add a ton of volume to my roots without creating that like texture that sometimes ratting your hair can do. I'm gonna pull almost all my hair up and away and get started from the bottom, moving up on the curls. So step 1 is heat shield. And then step 2 is the HairCovery hold spray. I'm gonna brush that out with my Kristin S. It's almost like a wet brush. It has the same texture in the bristles. I just really like it a lot. It goes right through tangles very easily, doesn't pull up my hair at all. All right, so that's all dry and I'm ready to go. I'm gonna do Revlon on this side, Hot Tools on this one. With a smaller iron like this, if you want to get more tight curls, smaller curls, you're gonna take a smaller section, obviously. If you want more loose and relaxed curls, you'll take a larger section. In the bottom, I prefer to have a looser curl so that it doesn't get too fluffy. And in the top, I'll do kind of a tighter curl. So I'm gonna take about 1 inch of hair. I'm gonna flip my iron upside down and I'm going to wrap from the base of the wand and I'm gonna move down to the end. And I keep the end of that little hair out with my finger and it just creates less of like old-fashioned curl and more of like a modern curl where it's straight at the bottom. And then I'm gonna pull down just to kind of relax it a little bit. So, I mean, that is pretty curly. So this is going to give a different look than like a calm beachy wave. This is definitely gonna be overall a tighter curl and a different look than like a traditional 1 inch curling iron will. So again, I'm just gonna hold that end out. And this time, instead of pulling it down off of the wand, I'm gonna unwrap it. And that gives me a little bit looser of a curl. So there's kind of like 2 ways you can do it. Here is what our Revlon curls look like. See, I need 2 more to get to the middle. I'm gonna stop at the middle and go on the other side with the Hot Tools. I'm gonna finish those off with just a quick spray of holding spray. All right, so now we're gonna take our Hot Tools and do the other side. So again, same thing, about 1 inch. I'm gonna hold this down and wrap this around. I hold it for about 3 seconds. So it's also not quite as curled. I might have to hold it just a little bit longer. You can see these are these people are going to 2 different parties. Okay, so let's take a bigger piece and see if we can make them look a little bit more uniform. There we go. So it's a little bit closer, but you can see they're just 2 different looks. They're both fine. I'm interested to see when I just kind of brush this out with my fingers what it's gonna look like. I think this will be more of like what's kind of in style right now, which is that looser curl. Okay, so here is what the Hot Tools curls look like. I'm gonna give it a little spray. Okay, let's do round 2. the most part, they're looking pretty similar. These just, I feel like, look a little bit more modern as far as like what's in style right now for curling. But we're gonna keep going. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is tiring. Having to use such small pieces takes a long time. It's been about 20 minutes now. There is our Revlon side. Not too terrible. We're gonna finish off this side, we'll compare them, and then I'll finish off the top with the Hot Tools, and we'll just kind of do some closing thoughts after that. Okay, so this is our stopping point where we're pretty much even, and I just want you to see these are way more uniform. The Hot Tools are just a little bit looser, and this is a little bit more disheveled. So I really think that it's because that wand is so much longer that it gives me more space to really space out the curls and make them even. So I'm gonna go with Hot Tools as my favorite. But let's finish up this look. I'm gonna show you how I shake it out, and like, spoiler alert, don't use a brush. I'm gonna show you what to use instead. Okay, we are all done. Oh, let's see, that took me about 30 minutes to get everything curled. So, did I miss anything in the back? Here is the complete side by side. Now I'm gonna tell you how to style this. The first thing that you wanna do is not go for your brush, okay? The first thing you're gonna do is go for your gloss drop. So this is the Satin Nectar Nourishing Gloss Drops from Lange. I'm gonna take, gosh, probably about a pearl size amount into my hand, and I'm gonna just rub that all through my hand. When you're breaking up your curls with your hands instead of your brush, it's going to help it not get frizzy, and then the gloss drops will continue to smooth that out. So you're going to get volume, we're gonna be able to separate them and get more of a piecey look without getting like a frizzy wig kind of look. So all we're gonna do is take our hands and just brush through those curls, and you can see what amazing volume and texture that gives us. We're just breaking up all those individual curls. You can even like toss it to the other side to shake it out, and then toss it back over so it's not quite so, there we go. I feel very like Olivia Newton-John right now. I feel like I need a greaser jacket and some tight leggings, but this is kind of like what we're going for, that volume. It'd be really cute if you take like a little clip and pull it back. But here is our finished product. So if you're looking for a look that has more volume, this will last me a couple of days, which is what I really like about it, is that I can get this volume and it will just kind of look more lived in as the week goes on. So you just keep playing with it, keep shaking it out, get it exactly how you want it, and then you're done. All in all, I'm a huge fan of the Hot Tools at the end of the day. I feel like the curls were better. It was easier to work with because, again, I didn't have to try and fit my hair on this like shorter wand. I feel like it's gonna be a better investment. It's a little bit more, but I feel like with Hot Tools, you want to get something that you know you're not gonna burn your hair off. It's gonna last you a long time, and it's gonna give you the look that you want. And for me, at the end of the day, Hot Tools is the winner. So I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever used a small curling iron like this? What do you think? What brand do you use? Do you love it? And if you've never used it, do you think you might give it a try? So thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys next time.